It is on. It is. Hey guys, this is Gabriel Fancher, and this is live in Murfreesboro, and I'm here with my buddy Bryan Dihigo. That's it, right?
You did say it right.
It's taken 8 years to get it right, something
yeah.
like that. But I wanted to introduce you guys to this. Well, I found out you're a mentor to many and a wealth of knowledge. But the great thing is that Bryan's almost my age, right? And so
almost. You're a little older than me, right?
I am a little bit.
Is that
you
what
see
it
the
is?
gray hair, But and you don't have any gray hair yet, so looking young and great. But I wanted to introduce him to you guys and let him tell you about where he's working and things like that. Anyway, I'll just get started. So, Bryan, where are you working?
I work for a company in Smyrna called Network Technology Partners. It's an IT company, and we work with basically medium to large size businesses.
How big is that?
We typically say that an ideal customer for us is about 10 computers and up.
Okay, all right. I expected that to be small business.
Small, really a lot of small businesses might have 1, 2, 3 computers.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
When you get to the point where you're able to accommodate for payroll,
I see.
for 10 people or more.
So that's a lot of business.
Yeah,
really, right?
It's a certain amount of revenue
Okay.
stream. We typically say that the average successful business model will dedicate 3 to 5% of the revenue toward their IT budget.
Okay, gotcha.
And so for a small business, that might be just a little bit too much more than they want to,
I see.
go for to make sure that their computers are always running, and we're big on uptime versus downtime.
Okay.
And so sometimes the cost associated with that with a small mom and pop is just
too much. Right, sure. Yeah.
But when you're a medium to large size business,
the cost of being down is huge.
Exactly.
Okay. Right.
So there's a price to play.
Yes, right.
There's a price to pay.
Yeah,
So
right.
you got to be in big boy status to really kind of forecast and maintain a budget for these services that are needed, because we depend so much on our computers to run our lives these days. You can't afford that.
So that's what you guys do. You guys make sure that when somebody gets to work, their computer's working. And it's secure and things like that.
It's secure. We have it backed up just in case anything were to happen.
Yeah.
We could get you back up and running, lickety split.
Okay. That's awesome.
So,
what made you decide to work? It's Network Solutions, right?
Network Technology
Partners. Okay. Is there like a short name for it?
NTP.
Okay.
That's what
all right.
we say.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's good. What made you decide to work for NTP?
I've known the owner, Robert Benton, for we think about 10 years.
Okay.
Just like you started off saying about 8 years with me. We think, Robert and I think that we've known each other through the Chamber of Commerce, is how we met. Robert actually was a customer of mine a long time ago in the business that I had for many years, your local directory. And so we've just always been friendly to each other through the chamber. And he called me out of the blue a couple months ago, and he said, hey, I'm growing, and I want to take one of my hats off, which is sales guy.
Okay.
And I'm looking for a sales guy that has a lot of relationships out here and is active in the community.
Sure.
With the chamber and BNI and all the things that I've been a part of.
And there's probably no one that is more connected than you.
Well, thank you. So he said, I'd love to entertain a conversation with you about coming to work for us.
Sure.
Which I threw out. I said, now, I just to completely, put this out there, I don't really know a whole lot about IT. And he said, that's fine, we do.
Sure.
We do.
Right.
We've got the back office support to fix all the problems that our clients have.
Okay.
The one thing that we do need, however, is someone that can go out, foster relationships that translate into new business.
Well, and you are probably, because you've owned a small business and been a entrepreneur for over a decade, you understand what people are facing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what a P&L is.
I do.
Right. That's important. Let's see. So, what has surprised you most? Because you said you're not a computer guy, right? What surprised you most about this business?
Surprised me most. I think what was a pleasant surprise is that these guys like to have fun.
Okay.
Because these guys sit and work all day long on their computers. It's important to maintain a culture in the
Okay.
company.
Mhm.
We want our employees to like their jobs, to like coming to work every day, to like sitting there because they have to sit all day to work on stuff. And so one of the pleasant surprises was we've got this huge TV in the conference room that's hooked up to an Xbox, and
Wow.
they're encouraged, and it's got Netflix and everything. Is take some breaks,
Sure.
unplug for a minute, go do something fun, and then finish up and get back to work.
Come back. Yeah.
Not only that, but also part of the culture there is typically about once, maybe every other month, we budget to take all the employees out and go see the latest Marvel or Star Wars or whatever kind of
Wow.
cool comic book.
What's the
type
most
movie.
recent movie you guys have gone to see?
We went to go see Black Panther
Okay. What'd you
in
think of that?
February. Loved it.
Did you?
Actually,
All right.
just took Aisha to go see it in New Orleans. She had yet to see it.
Okay. I haven't seen it yet either.
So yeah, so we just saw it 2 days ago.
Wow.
So
all right.
fresh off seeing it the second time. Yeah, great
It's
movie.
just as good the second time as the first
A
time?
little bit better. I actually
Okay.
picked up on some things I didn't pick up on the front end.
Sure.
And seeing it for a second time, I was able to kind of put the pieces together.
On a big screen, you're sitting there and you see
Yeah.
some, and it's an action film, so there's a lot going
Yeah.
on. So,
Yeah.
I can see that. Totally.
I think next we're going to see the Star Wars, the Solo, Han Solo.
I can't wait. I've
Oh,
already
yeah.
made plans with my daughter. Can't wait to go see
Yeah,
that. I'm
yeah.
excited.
No, actually, the next one is Infinity Wars,
Oh,
the
okay.
new Avengers movie.
I see.
So we got
All
those
right.
two coming up.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Very
so
cool.
that was a pleasant surprise.
What would you say customers love most about your guys' business?
I would say probably the reliability
Okay.
of the services that we offer.
Sure.
We're big. So since IT is an intangible,
Mm-hmm.
you can't touch it, you can't smell it or taste it, you can't hear it. It's a service.
Okay.
And so there comes an expectation with that, mainly that it works all the time. And so what we provide our customer base is that reliability.
I see.
That and I think the years of experience that not only Robert has. Robert's been doing this for about 20 years.
Wow.
But the employees that we have probably combined, we haven't added up the numbers, but I would venture to say that there's decades of experience
Sure.
inside IT.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Let's see. Have you had any memorable experiences working there?
Yeah.
It's a
Well,
tough one, right? I know.
the first day one was we went to go see a movie, and I thought that was cool. So
Sure.
the first one I saw
Well,
was
how different of a
Thor.
culture that is, right?
Yeah, we saw Thor Ragnarok on my very first day.
Wow. I'm
And,
sure that also helps build camaraderie amongst you,
It
which
does.
makes you work better with each other and
It
so you can
does.
solve problems better and stuff.
this has been, having been self-employed for 10, 11 years, and I know what it's like to wear a lot of hats. And so
Sure.
I respect that Robert is wanting to kind of take those hats off. And one of the things that I've been kind of corralled into is being part of a board within, a dozen employees who kind of sit and try to be intentional
Okay.
about the culture experience within the company. And so I think that's pretty cool to kind of be more
Yeah.
hands-on with that, and share in that responsibility. So I value that, and I value kind of what we're trying to put together for NTP.
Okay. So, how long have you been in Murfreesboro? Are you from here? Or are you?
I'm not from here. I
Okay.
claim here, but
Okay.
I'm not from here.
No one's really from here.
That's right. So I was born in upstate New York,
Okay.
but I moved to Nashville when I was 2, just a little
Oh, wow.
guy with
Okay.
my folks. And we lived in the Brentwood area for about 5 years.
I see.
We moved away to a couple of places, and eventually my dad got a job back in Nashville about 10 years after we moved. And so we came back to the Middle Tennessee area. I finished up high school. And I was kind of tired of moving at that point because
Sure.
we moved a lot as a kid. And so when I finished up high school here and my parents, had a home back in Nashville, I didn't want to, like a lot of kids I graduated with, pick a school that was hours and hours and hours and hours away. So I picked MTSU.
Sure.
and I would be able to come home on the weekend and do my laundry, which I liked. And I just stayed in the area.
Okay.
When I graduated from MTSU, it was 1999, and found myself, a couple months after graduation, buying a small home in Smyrna. And I have lived in Rutherford County, as a homeowner and since 2000.
Right. Wow.
But
almost 20 years.
Almost. Well, if we count the campus experience,
right,
which I lived all the way back to 1995.
Sure. Right. Wow.
So I have most of my life has been in Middle Tennessee. This more of the second part of my life here, because I did have 5 years on the front end as a kid.
Right.
So I can kind of compare what Nashville used to be like to the way it is now. With a unique experience.
Right. And you've seen all the growth and change that's taking place here in Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. Yeah. So let's see here. I know that you care about local businesses and Murfreesboro, but why do you tell people it's important to shop local?
I've always been a big believer in that, just because it adds a lot of value to this community. If we can keep our dollars here, we're going to keep jobs here,
right?
And we're going to keep the county and the cities and the towns in this area healthier, versus taking our money into, say, Davidson County and spending it there. We have so many choices out here, whether it comes to, we were talking earlier outside of the recording about worship and churches, from where we worship to where we go see a movie, to where we go eat at a restaurant.
Right.
And we are really blessed here in Murfreesboro and in Middle Tennessee to have so many options. If you've ever traveled just a few hours in any direction, you'll find communities that simply do not have those options.
That's right.
There might be a handful of churches. There might be one or two restaurants. And there's nothing to do on the weekends.
Yeah.
And so these families that live in those communities are forced to either do nothing, which doesn't stimulate their local economy, or they have to drive long distances to
come to Murfreesboro,
do whatever. Yeah, the big city of Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
So I've been a firm believer in stimulating one's local economies, especially considering that we have so many options here.
Sure. So speaking of options, toughest question I'm going to ask you. What is your favorite restaurant?
Oh, see, you would ask this. I just came back from New Orleans.
Oh, which is what makes it hard to choose.
Yeah, where I think I gained probably about 5 or 10 pounds in one weekend there. Favorite restaurant out here. We got to table that one. Let me answer that at the end. I'll
think on it. Yeah.
I'll think on that one.
Fair enough. So, which side of town do you live on right now?
So we currently live in the Salem area, which is kind of on the backside of the Blackman community.
Sure.
Over by Veterans and New Salem.
Lots of new houses being built out there. A lot of people that are moving to that side of town. And, first are the rooftops and next are stores, right? So they're going to be building a thing out there next to I-24. That'll be great. What do you like living? What's your favorite part about living on that side of town?
So I like that the side of my yard is pretty much just field and county, and it's very peaceful, very quiet. At the same time, I like the fact that St. Thomas has invested in kind of an annex, the little medical clinic out there.
That's right, yes.
When I lived in Smyrna for many years, my family physician was at Stonecrest.
Okay.
And I found myself, whenever I, have a tickle in my throat or whatever, I'd hop in the car in Murfreesboro and drive long distances to the town of Smyrna. And so when they built the facility, I was like, hey, I'm a big believer. I'm going to practice what I preach. I'm going to shop local. I'm going to find a doctor.
I've done the same thing because I live over there. We found out we're neighbors.
Yes, we are.
And I go to Dr. Walsh there because it's
my
close.
Doctor.
Yeah, see, he's
Dr.
awesome.
Walsh.
Man. He's great. I'm going to have to do an interview with him. He's he got angel wings or something. Did you see that he won that award? Anyway, supposedly he's done something nice for somebody. He was like, anyway, so I had to bring him on and have him explain that to everybody. Do you have any favorite places to go over there on that side of town? I mean, we're Bryan. We don't have a lot of stuff over there, but anything that
I find that I'm in Publix more often than not, picking up random items.
Have you tried the fried chicken at Publix?
I've yet to try
It
it.
is really
Sure.
good. Yes,
Yeah.
I was reading a blog the other day, and it ranks as one of the top fried chickens to rewarm.
Get out of here, really.
I promise.
Publix offers a unique experience, and the fact that I'm 60 seconds away from it. I
It's like
find
a pantry, really.
it is, yeah. I'll get a lot of honey-do lists. Honey, can you pick up this one item or this?
Sure.
And so I'm there a lot. And my question always is there can we get anything? Is there anything else that you need me to run down there and get? Because
Sure.
I'm not a big fan of going to get one item at a time.
Right.
Sometimes I'll get one item and I'll come back and she'll be like, can I get you to go back and get this? And I'll be like,
Oh,
So yeah, I'm at Publix a lot.
that's funny. Me too. Understand. All right, so let's wrap it up. Tell me about your favorite restaurant.
Favorite restaurant? I would probably have to say out here, the Alley on Main.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
My wife and I know Sean and Christy well enough to have not only entertained them in our home, but have the wonderful opportunity to be invited to be entertained in their home.
Oh wow.
Our kids are around the same ages,
Okay.
and they're just a good family.
Sure.
The Hackinsons.
Yeah,
And
and the food is great too.
Oh,
Which is
yeah.
always a plus.
Yeah, I was wondering if my wife. I do not cook. Full disclosure, I don't cook. I clean, and so I was wondering if she'd be a little intimidated. Preparing a meal
Sure.
for Sean and Christy.
I would be.
Yeah, really. But no, she handled it like a pro. She actually.
I'm not surprised. Your wife's amazing.
She is amazing. She does many, many amazing things. And so one of the things about her, you might have to interview her one of these times.
Sure.
She actually is self-taught, not just in cooking, but one of her favorite things to cook is Indian food.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so she prepared a full Indian meal for Sean and Christy, and it was their first time ever
Wow.
eating Indian food.
Right.
Which was, you could look at it and say it's a blessing because they really had nothing to compare
Nothing
it
to
to,
compare it to,
right?
sure, yeah.
But at the same time, I think that they liked it.
Any good Indian restaurants here in Murfreesboro? Because I've eaten
really.
India twice.
So we've been a couple of times to the one the name, I can't remember the name, but it's out on Thompson.
Okay.
I'll
I'll have to look it up.
You know
Put it
what
in
I'm
show
talking about?
notes. Mhm.
Yeah.
I ate Indian food, didn't know what I was eating. I just got all the stuff that was fried off it was like a food bar. So,
Yeah.
I know.
But yeah,
It was good.
there's one on Thompson
Yeah.
that's pretty good. We've been there a couple of times, but no, most of the time she'll
Well,
make
why go out and eat when
Why
your
go
wife
out?
can make it?
Absolutely, yeah.
That's-
So
I
she'll
understand.
run to the one of these Asian markets and pick up a whole bunch of ingredients and stuff and just make it at home.
Well, Bryan, is there anything you want to share? Like, because the purpose of these videos is not only to let people get to know you a little bit, but to get to know the area more. Is there anything you want to share with people before we turn this off?
Shop local. Murfreesboro is a great city, and Rutherford County is a great place to live and work and play and worship. And if you ever need a home, this guy can help you
Right.
with that. But no, that's thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thanks, Bryan, for coming in. I appreciate it, man.
Awesome. Thank you.